Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about helping him cope with the feelings that you're going to leave him, that you're not going to be there waiting for him and waiting faithfully. Um, the biggest thing to me is, you got to be open, honest, and 100 with everything. Like, you can't leave anything out. And in my mind, I'm always thinking like, okay, I'm gonna tell him everything no matter what. Because say one of his boys see me and they tell him before I do, he's gonna be more upset. So every little thing I tell my husband. And it helps him feel closer to me at the same time. Because like the one day I was at a state fair we have out here. It's called pig picking. And some guy, he was hitting on me. And my husband, his friends seen me, but they didn't know what was really going on. They just seen me talking to another guy. Well, that night, I went home and I wrote my letter to my husband and told him what happened. And his friends went and wrote him a letter like, yo, we seen your wife and she was talking to another dude. And they described what the guy looked like. And my husband got the letters the same day. He read his boy's letter before mine. And once he read mine, he's like, oh yeah. Like, he wrote back and told his boys, like, oh yeah, she told me everything. Like, so I don't want to leave out anything. Even if it's something small like that. Because my husband knows I would never cheat on him. But at the same time, I'm going to tell him every little thing. I write often. The more I write to him, the less he can question or think, what's going on at home. And not question it like, oh, is she out there cheating? No. He wants to know what's going on in my day. He wants to know what the kids are doing. And I mail him out daily. And that's just how I've always been. I've always written a lot. It's very easy for me to sit down and just write a letter about complete randomness that's going on in my life or what's going on in the house at that moment. Some of these are just common sense. We visit when we can. Sometimes it's hard. I am lucky if I see my husband 4 times a year. Last time I see my husband, it was in August. So that's really important for me. But hopefully once he gets to the feds, he'll be moved closer. I'm hoping they approve it. As always, accept the phone calls. 'Cause that's your lifeline to them. And what I do is, my husband, he calls me on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now, on Saturdays when he calls, I make sure between the times of 2 and 4, because that's between when he calls me, I make sure I'm doing absolutely nothing. Like, I'm waiting for my husband. That's our date. And I make sure, when he does call, nothing's going to distract me. Like, nothing, no one. Wednesdays that's a little more difficult because I work during the day, so. But I try my hardest as well on Wednesdays. Now, I know some people are going to say they don't need to do this, or, a man doesn't need it. You gotta stroke his ego. To me, I don't care what any woman says. I've always stroked my husband's ego. The little things, I make sure he knows I appreciate it. It's with everything he does for me. He writes me a letter. He knows it by the letter. I write right back to him after I read his. That how much that letter meant to me, even if his letter was only a page. He draws me a picture. I tell him about how excited I was to hang it up, how I showed my mother-in-law, how I posted it on Facebook. And when he sends me the hankies, he knows, like, I sleep with them. Like, because they smell like him. Because he'll sleep with them, like, 3 or 4 days before he mails them to me. So by the time I get it, it smells like him. And he knows like the little things like that. Like I cherish the most. To me, it's the same if he was home. Because if he was home and he changed the oil in the car or just like mowed the lawn, I would make sure he knew how much that meant to me. So I always, always, always stroke my husband's ego. I don't care what it is. He knows it meant so much to me. And I'll shout from a roof or across the state, like the world, if I had to. And I make him feel special. And sometimes that gets hard because there's only so much we can do. But one of the ways I do it is, I make sure he gets mail every day. I make sure I send him lots and lots of pictures. And I think since the beginning of December, I've sent him over 600 pictures. And it's not always pictures of me, pictures of the kids, because, come on, how many different poses and ways can I show him a picture of me and the kids? I take pictures of the sunset, I take picture of sun rising. If I see a rainbow, I'll take a picture of the rainbow. If I see something I think he'll like, I'll take a picture of it and mail it to him. Little things like that. I try to keep him as in touch with that outside world as possible. It gets hard. It really does. And sometimes I just want to say, fuck it, I'm done, I don't want to deal with it. But then I see a picture of my husband, or he calls me just to tell me he loves me, and those thoughts go away. But when I get like that, I do let him know. Because even though I try to be strong and I try to be the one that doesn't need the support, I try to be independent. Not even so much independent. I try to be, in control of everything and in control of my emotions. It always doesn't work, and it's easiest, just to let them know. Because you try to hide it, it's not going to get you anywhere. Because if you're not happy and we're miserable, it's going to make them unhappy, and they will end up being miserable with you. And two miserable people in a relationship is no good. And it's even harder since we're far away. So, only other thing I can think I'll do to try to make him feel more secure is, I'm just there for him. Like, even when he tries to push me away and tells me he doesn't need me, I'm always there. I won't go away. I'm like the fly he can't kill.